And I see DaringRetreat is, I think that's a Ninja Turtle. I think that's Michelangelo.
Michelangelo,
Getting
yes,
some
indeed.
blue goose. Swerb finds 5 rupees in the sanctuary as we are underway.
All right, and it looks like Swerb may be heading over to the right here. I believe that's a direction that most people take when they're going to be doing the Houlihan. Little camera manipulation glitch here to get a couple of rupees early in the game.
Arrows from the tree pull today, and as noted in the chat, yes, that is Shantae that Swerve's playing as well. So it's Shantae versus Michelangelo. Who's going to come out on top today? A little fun fact about these runners, I asked both of them about how they were doing in the pools before we started. I can say that today, one of them is going to get their first win. I think I might have this backwards, but I think DaringRetreat said he was 0-4, Swerve was 0-2. That may be the other way around. But either way, one of them is going to get their first win today. And the runners have gone back to where each other has started and found the opposite items. Nothing spectacular of note here yet, just the bottle so far to show the sick kid.
Yeah, and Swerve making the play through this south of the Lake's House area. It's a really nice way to farm up some bombs, as these bushes here, as you see, some of them are 50-50% chance to get you a bomb.
We saw a nice BMOS guard in the field to the west of Link's house, and I saw one of those beetles that likes to throw you in pits wandering around as well. So the enemies are all shuffled as well.
Yep, and somebody dropped a bunch of money on the floor there in the forest.
It's irresponsible.
Our second bottle, as well as another 300 rupees there in the library.
As DaringRetreat and Swerve both make their way to Kakariko, I will note there is a Chaos Boss Shuffle enabled on these seeds. Bosses can be anywhere. You can have them show up multiple times. We won't know until we get to the end of a dungeon whether a boss will even be able to be defeated. So that's another interesting quirk. Saw many Moldorm wandering around near Kakariko.
A magic cape there from the sick kid. So potentially having magic cape could lead to Aga.
Could also lead to an item at Bumper Cave. So Bumper Cave is now in logic today once we get to the Dark World as well.
All right, Chicken Hut. Let's see what's going on in the Chicken Hut here today.
Ooh, a couple guards and a couple chickens.
Really well done by Swerb to be able to run around that table, avoid that guard, while still getting the bomb to open up that wall.
Just some bombs from the bottle vendor. Probably could have got some cheaper bombs in the shop if you went down there, but oh well.
All right, 5 items here in the bottom of the well, starting out with a single heart piece. 50 rupees, getting half of that bottle vendor money back. And our first sword.
I think Rars will be happy to see that sword. We haven't had much in terms of weaponry yet, so this is the first stable weapon that our runners will pick up here.
Yes. So, lantern, sword, cape. Where are we going to get an Agassiz?
We're a lamp away. We're a lamp away from Adam. This is already going to be scary. And this is a defeat Ganon Seeds, so all dungeons are not required today. I'll actually go over those icons at the top in a moment. We just want to get the big item areas out of the way here. As we get some bombs, some sticks, a heart piece, and let's see what the item back in the... Swerve did not check it.
No.
I don't think Swerve checked that item. If that's an important item, this is going to be this could be horrible for him.
I've done that before. So I'm hoping out. Fingers crossed he didn't miss anything there.
I've seen that. Oh, they both did that.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. What is going on here?
Oh, no.
Was there a hint for that? I don't know. I don't think they've seen any hints yet.
I mean, there can be a hint that could say that something is in Blind's hideout, but I don't know that either of them are going to realize or remember that they didn't check that item. Tadara in chat saying gentleman's agreement. I don't know. I wouldn't think so, but
this is not something you do a gentleman's agreement over.
Yeah,
there's an item there. You need it.
Looks like Desert Palace was one of our pendants, and Eastern and Tower of Hera both crystals.
So the story of the seed could very well be: is there something in the back of Blind's hut, and who is going to be the first runner to realize that he did not check that?
Yikers.
And DaringRetreat, I think, did see that there was a heart up there and decided to go get it. So he will get the heart from race game. We found a guard in the race game as well. Nice little
Surprise!
guy there. And some lovely life-giving trash. Swerb is our first runner who's going to be checking the dam today. Didn't open the first chest yet, so we're going to see what's outside first. Outside, oh, I see an interesting item in the moat.
I like that.
We're going to have the bow from the dam, from the moat. Swerb will happily pick that up with his 20 arrows already available, and that'll give him another kind of a stable weapon to use. And we got some mini Moldorms. Some mini Moldorms and some killable thieves. What will be a mini Moldorm cave today? Today, in mini Moldorm cave, we have... Okay, at least they're all the same enemy. So at least it matches the theme today.
Yep. ₹5, the lantern!
The lamp.
Oh, no.
Now, this could be another situation where the backup blind set comes into play, because if the backup blind set has something of interest like the hammer or something like that, or the power glove that gives Dark World access, these runners may think that they have to go through Aghanim when the actual progression could be in the backup blind's hut. So we could be seeing a couple of Aghanim runs that may or may not be required today, but based on how it's coming out so far, they will forget about that item and they could possibly do it without realizing there's progression back there.
Yeah. Or even something, if they do get their Dark World access, if that item in the backup blind set ends up being the Moon Pearl, they're going to run around all over trying to find where that item is.
Yeah, that would be a very, very interesting predicament if that's the Moon Pearl back there. DaringRetreat gets his lamp. Swerb is checking the back of Sahasrara's closet. Just a heart flanked by red rupees. Did we get a clue from Sahasrara as to where the green pendant was? Did Swerb talk to the old man?
Swerb did not check with Sahasrara.
We have a fish over here. He's just going to carry it and throw it?
Nope, not today. There's no water to throw it anywhere. So I guess you could use it as a weapon, but...
A fun fact about the fish: in the vanilla game, you actually get rupees for saving the fish and throwing it back in the pond. Unfortunately, I think it was due to how some... that was a nice spot for the mimic. Due to how the item shows up out of the pond, it can end up in a spot where it's unreachable sometimes. It could end up being a case where you can't pick up the item, and as a result, it's not randomized at all. It just stays as rupees. So no one ever deals with the fish.
Yeah. And it looks like Ice Rod Cave was only a big 20, so Swerb, having opted to not go there, is not going to be missing out on anything, but may be keeping that in the back of his mind for any last-minute progression that he could be looking for. So normally in a regular non-enemizer seed, having sword, lantern, and bow would allow you to go through and fully clear Eastern Palace. With enemizer, bow may not be required depending on the enemies that are either holding the keys or blocking the doors. It could be Vanilla Igor that may be holding up some of the rooms later in Eastern Palace.
At the same time, you could also find a enemy like those turtles in Palace of Darkness showing up in a room lock in progress, and it could be a hammer required for all we know. We won't know until we get further. There's the Moon Pearl.
Ooh, yeah.
Until we get further in, I was going to say. And now we know the Moon Pearl's not in the back of the Blind Hideout, but who knows what is? No one checked it.
And some cash requires a bomb, just in case you needed to know.
Beautiful to know. That's a very good hint.
Something like that, yeah. Additionally, going through Eastern Palace here, having the lantern, having the sword, and even the bow, we may end up coming across something like Argus, Cold Stare, Trinex, something that's a boss that may require an item that we have not yet found. So we will have to see what the shuffle gives us today for our boss and enemy randomizer.
And this is a fun part of the Chaos Spell Shuffle. As Swerb makes his way through the Dark Room, DaringRetreat is going to retrace Swerb's steps, get that Moon Pearl. Just to cover the icons at the top very quickly as Swerb gets to the next item in the big key chest. This is a Ganon open randomized item on the Uncle, hard difficulty game where we have the enemizer enemies all shuffled around. That's what those icons at the top mean. Swerb is getting his bag of powder from the big key chest. He's going to make his way, I believe he picked up the big key somewhere, so he's going to make his way to the big chest, I believe, at this point. No, I guess he didn't get the big key. Big key must be, I don't think there's really much else that can happen.
Right. The big key was the first chest in Eastern above the bowling ball bridge.
Oh, he must have been counting items and is guessing that the chest may not have anything. That looked like a nasty room. So I was going to get some health just to be safe. And there's the head of a mini Moldorm, a full mini Moldorm, a couple of anti-fairies, some skulls.
Yeah, and Swerb hopping into that big pot there just below that stairwell to pick up a couple fairies since the mini Helmosaurs in that room kind of bullied a little bit. All right, we're coming up on the boss room here.
Get your guesses in chat, everyone. What is the first boss of the game today going to be? What is going to be at the back of Eastern Palace? I'm already expecting to see 1 or 2 Trinex in the chat.
Oh my gosh, these enemies!
Oh, wow, all these guards.
Oh, shoot.
Wow. You have a call for blind in the chat. There is a Trinex, like I predicted. Palmasar is in the chat.
Nice.
Let's see what we have back there today.
Very well done. Oh, Cold
Stare. Well, see ya.
Gonna need a fire source like Bombos or Fire Rod before heading up against that. Man, these Helmosaurs are just awful.
And DaringRetreat will make his way back to the Den of Krakow as Swerb now makes his way to the Hyrule Castle. I don't think he's been in here yet. DaringRetreat did clear this out, I believe.
Just the uncle and the secret passageway here. Nobody has actually gone the full way through the escape sequence to Zelda's chest and the back of escape. So really good for Swerb to be able to go through and do all of this at once.
Yeah, he is going to do it all at once, I believe, now that we've cleared out Eastern Palace. I don't think I see any real progression except through Aghanim at this point. So this is pretty much the only play he has, I believe.
Right. And we still do have Agina's cave in the desert area that nobody really likes to go to until they have possibly flute, mirror, and a couple other things that help them get to the desert area more officially.
And don't forget the back of Blind's hut because both runners bombed it and forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
DaringRetreat also takes the health safety with that very difficult room, and he'll be happy to have that when he gets to the final room before he has to bail. Swerb is making his way through Hyrule Castle proper, goes down the stairs. We're going to get an item in the first chest right down here. In the initial basement chest, well, first we have a weird enemy there to get rid of. He finds the boots!
Ooh. Gotta go fast. It's really nice to find boots early.
This will now be a much faster seed as we have a fire bar guarding the Hyrule Castle basement today.
There are so many Helmosaurs everywhere.
I've seen a lot of the thieves around too. There's a rhinoceros type enemy from Thieves Town.
The Zezak or the horse heads. Yep.
Oh, this is an enemy that you hate to fight in a locked room. They jump these Goma type enemies jump away from you very, very fast. But Swerb does get through it. He is about to make his way down to where Zelda normally would be, and open though she's not there, she's already at the sanctuary.
And things in Zelda's chest today. All right, so we got a Gibdo here that's going to be holding the big key. Oh, can't kill it with arrows. Got to be silver arrows or fire. So using the pots and then sword would be the best way for that today.
3 pots is not enough. He has to keep attacking with the sword. And he will get in there, and he's going to soft lock. He's going to not soft lock. He's going to kill himself with a bomb. Sweet death.
Yes, death warps definitely saving a bit of time to not have to walk all the way back through the Zelda escape sequence to head straight to the back.
DaringRetreat, I believe, got back to Cold Stare and said, "See ya."
Yep, and also making the same play through the escape sequence here. Dark room number 1 showing very easy enemies. Oh, this room though, nice.
Oh, this room kept the bats in it, so not too bad.
Yep. And DaringRetreat getting a couple little bonks there by those thieves getting bullied around in the hallway. And
the key enemy is the green sludge.
Nice. More affectionately called Patrick's, because they kind of look like Patrick from SpongeBob.
And the boots actually are a nice thing to have because you don't have to use a bomb on that hole there. So the items back here aren't really worth dashing through here, though. Just bombs and a map.
And still no progression.
So this leads to Agina. This leads to the Bonk Rocks, which are near Sanctuary. So he may just go ahead and check that first. Or if he'll go back and start the castle, that's another possibility.
He's going straight to Aga.
He could. Yeah, he's not wasting time. He thinks Aga is required. Ooh, this may be interesting. The question is, will DaringRetreat find progress somewhere else and save some time? He may find something at Agina or in Bonk Rocks and not have to do this step. So we'll see what DaringRetreat decides to do. If they both make this play, they'll be about even in that regard. But there are still some options available to have items. DaringRetreat has his own fierce battle with the Gibdos, gets his big key. He's going to get a lovely 10 stick prize pack.
Did either of our runners check the lumberjack item?
I don't think either of them has. I think they might be gambling on the lumberjack item at this point.
Yeah, I was just curious. Most players will actually wait until they get boots, or do Agina to then later check what is actually at the lumberjack item. But I wasn't sure if maybe DaringRetreat had checked it.
Well, DaringRetreat is going to get the back of the Hyrule Castle basement now. Swerb, and as you mentioned, because he saw the boots, Swerb might decide, you know what, everything else is here. I'm gambling on that. And that's the gamble he's decided to make. It may not be required. We'll find out later.
Ooh, compass requires a hammer. Great, just what we needed.
That's great information. Which compass? Swerb takes the death in Aghanim's tower, so that's going to cause him a little bit of time as he has to get back up to where he was.
Yeah, that room with double Hinox is definitely not very fun. It's going to take a little bit to get them down, but I trust in the Swerb.
He's already down 2 hearts again. This Aghanim's tower climb is proving to be a bit of a test today.
All right, DaringRetreat with the key in hand, going to be heading to the 3 chests here at the back of Escape, and then we will have to see where he decides to go from here.
It'll be very interesting to see if he just diverges past at this point and doesn't do Aghanim, or if he remembers the other locations that he's actually leaving. He's not. Well, now he's leaving.
Yeah.
But he did not do a death warp. He's leaving to check another location. It looks like he's going to the sanctuary, as I thought someone might. I think to check the Bonk Rocks.
Yep.
I guess as he will then either go to Agina or he may make the Aga play himself and check Sanctuary. Or maybe even check the Lumberjack Ledge.
Not too bad here in the last couple rooms.
Straight to Bonk Rocks. Here's an item that Swerb has not checked. And it's not anything valuable.
Just a pack of blueberries.
Blueberries are good for you, but I don't think we want them right now.
I want blueberries all the time. Ooh, some of these little mini moldworms can knock you off the edge there. Very well done by Swerb. Heading up to Aga. We'll have to see how many blue balls we get in this fight.
Get your guesses in chat, everyone. As the blue balls, I'm going to go with 3. The good news for DaringRetreat is that the Aghanim play will not be required for Lumberjack. So if that was the gamble Swerve was making, it will not be a good gamble. But at least he will have access to Dark World through Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, we still also have the unknown item in the back of Blind's hut, as well as Agina's cave available. Still gonna need... I mean, I guess Agina's cave in the back of that Blind's hut could be both mitts and hammer to finish off our Dark World access, but I'm kind of doubting it.
Meanwhile, on the Aghanim fight, 2 blue balls. Swerve has 2 hits. We're going to have a lightning break here, and the 3rd hit will be guaranteed on the next shot. The first in every 4 cycles is always guaranteed a hit. After that, they're 50-50 until the lightning intermission, then the cycle repeats. So that's the 3rd hit for Swerve. DaringRetreat is making the Aghanim play. Also has not checked Agina. 3 blue balls, by the way. Has not checked Agina and has not checked the back of the blind side. Neither runner's done either of those. 5 blue balls. Ooh, this is not a nice Aghanim today. 6 blue balls.
7. 7.
Nope.
Ah.
If you said 6, congratulations, you don't get anything. And I don't think anyone said 6 anyway.
Oh, blue mail there on the pyramid ledge.
That's going to be very handy in Randomizer seeds because you don't know what you're going to find everywhere. And you could have, just like we had in Aghanim's Tower, a couple, or even I think it was Palace of Darkness actually more, that we had difficult rooms in both dungeons where that extra defense could be crucial. So not a bad pickup for Swerb at this time.
Yeah, and in Hard Logic, I do believe that is the highest level of mail that is available. So
Correct.
not a bad thing to pick
Oh,
up.
look at Chompy right outside Palace of Darkness.
At least it gets to be outside today.
Gotta get some air once in a while. And there is now a monkey following Swerb. This is not anything unusual. This is normal for those who are new to the game. You have to pay everyone's favorite contortionist, Kiki Monkey, and he'll push that button, and he will vanish to go find some bananas to buy with that money.
All right. So even if we do have a small key here in Palace of Darkness, with the Randomizer, we have less to worry about with Palace of Darkness being bow locked.
Well, it is still bow locked because there is still the statue at the back, so they still have to do that to get to Helmistar King. But other than that, the one room, as you mentioned, it may not be bow locked, if I can speak, somehow, because those mimics are not in that room necessarily. They may be, but they may not be.
All right, a small key there for Swerb. I'm going to be heading over to check the vanilla big key location here in Palace of Darkness.
And the chest that Swerb now comes up on, the upper chest up the stairs, is another key.
Key for
this
key.
Is proving to be a business dungeon so far today. Ooh, a nice little piece of paper. Ooh, hello, Hinoxes.
More
Some
cash requires
the
hammer. Twice.
So I think it was a compass and a cache now that both require, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah, so is it the hammer that's going to be in the back of blind set since all of the fun items seem to require the hammer?
Very well might be. Ooh. Death Mountain is now open as we find the hook shot and another key, of course, inside the normally bow-locked area of Palace of Darkness. And we don't have a hammer at this point, so we're going to Death Warp here.
We do still need either the flute or a glove to make it up to Death Mountain, but hookshot definitely helps with the east side of Death Mountain.
Yes. And the good news is, even though some things change in Randomizer in terms of, for example, the boomerang no longer does what it used to do. I think did something to do with stunning or killing some enemies. Doesn't do that anymore. But the hook shot in hard mode still will stun enemies. Later difficulties, it also will lose that property. But in this difficulty, the hook shot can be used to help runners get through an otherwise difficult section. As Swerb provides the compass, gets through a thief nearby. Swerb is going to clean out the 2 basement chests here. Got a roller outside Palace of Darkness as well near Chompy. Ooh, the book.
Ooh, gonna be pointing them over to Desert as well. We'll be able to see what Agina holds hopefully soon.
Yeah, I think that's going to send the runners over in that direction. Ooh, Dark World map check. 5, 6 crystals are Palace of Darkness, where Swerb is, and Turtle Rock. We have the green pendant up in Skull Woods. I think I saw the blue down in Swamp Palace. Is that right?
Blue, I believe, was at Ice Palace.
Okay, I saw it in that area. Okay.
Yes, Ice Palace. So, which Ninja Turtle is it that's blue? Is that Donatello?
Leonardo is blue.
Yes.
Donatello is purple. Raphael is red. I remember that. And Michelangelo, of course, is orange. So we've lost Michelangelo. We have Leonardo now playing for Daring Retreat.
Yeah. And flippers that are in the Palace of Darkness big chest. So opening up the options for Zora, the guy under the bridge, and the full Dark World access, I believe, as well.
Interestingly, Swerb is walking away from Palace of Darkness, not actually saving and quitting out of here. I wonder what he's doing down here. Daring Retreat is retracing Swerv's steps so far. Ooh, Chain Chomp took a bite out of him. Oh, yeah, working around Catfish. No, actually, no, he can't get to Catfish. He's going to work his way up to...
Yeah, he's going to use the flippers here to get to Catfish. Then he can hook shot across the little bridge here to head over to the left side.
Yes, I saw the hook shot. I'm just thinking, yeah, there is the access to Catfish, so he can get to Catfish. Well, let's start figuring out what Catfish could have today. There could be progression here, of course.
Well, I think there's still a block, one of those big blocks in the way of Catfish, but without gloves, you can't get there.
Yeah, that's true. I think that does need a glove.
And we saw Swerb trying to pick the rock up off of that little bush crab or the rock crab, but without gloves. Still can't pick those up. So
Swerb using the hook shot method to get to the Village of Outcasts. He is going to make a stop at Bumper Cave. He has a cape. This is a worthwhile check to clear out the area. Make sure it's not anything there.
Yeah, it will still require a glove as well to lift up the rock in front of that cave.
Trying to get to the cave to see what it is first, and it's not worth the effort to lift the rock, so I don't think we'll be back here later.
All right, and Skull Woods, a very quick check. Only 2 items in the dungeon, but still good chance that there could be some progression here.
Of course, we cannot finish the dungeon yet, even though Mothra may not be in its vanilla location. The fact that we don't have the fire rod means we can't get there. Of course, there could be a fire rod in here for all we know. We don't know that yet.
Right. And these anti-fairies are being a little bit of a pain. Swerb could use the magic powder to get a fairy as well as to get them out of the way.
Instead, he takes a death here. He's just going to try this again.
There we go.
Poof. Of course, being in hard difficulty, they don't. I don't think they give you a fairy in hard difficulty, do they?
That I don't know, actually. I know that the net will not catch fairies, but I don't know for sure about the anti-fairies, if they will not spawn a fairy. He had full health, so I think it may have given a fairy. Or they give a heart.
They give a heart. Okay, I thought that was changed in hard mode. So yeah, they give a heart instead of a fairy.
All right, so nothing there in that back chest as far as items that we're looking for our full progression.
That's a nice drop-down entry. Drop down, despite.
And Daring Retreat's going to make the play to the back of pod. I think they're going for the boss. Oh, maybe not.
Well, he is going to go across the bridge. I'm going to assume Swerb did do this. I just didn't watch him doing this part of it. So we saw him do the right room here. I don't know if I noticed what was in the dark maze. Did you catch anything in dark maze?
There wasn't anything important. Just flippers at big chest, pretty much. So trading another key for a key there. All right, C-shaped house here in the village of Outcast. Gonna check out what's.
DaringRetreat takes a costly death of the Dark Mace. He's gonna have to work his way back there to get to those last 2 chests in there. So that's a bit of a time lost there. And welcome to the chess game. We have a single rupee and 50 rupees.
The Abominable Hut, or as some like to call it, the brewery. Going to be one more item here before possibly dipping.
Ooh, that's an important item.
Yeah, I was going to say this one or the item we may find in Turtle Rock as well.
So that was the power glove we picked up at the brewery, as we like to call it in the community. And Swerb is now making his walk into Thieves Town to see what... I seem to find spikes everywhere today, too. Holy moly. Those spikes that we normally see inside Ice Palace. So Swerb did not find anything useful in the first chest. Coming around to the second chest, get a skull out of the way. Some kind of bug there. Just a map.
Do you see Swerb's rupee count?
And with his fantastic rupee count, which he just ruined, he now comes... You're kidding me. Power Glove and Titans in about 2 minutes. We now have a lot of... Not only are they playing with power, they can exert lots of power. And Shantae's Bunny Sprite, of course, has to be her arch rival. I don't know her name, though.
And DaringRetreat is making the dash down towards deserts, having picked up that book, and still thinking Agina's cave could have something there. Boots making it a lot faster to dash over and check the items here.
And keep in mind, they still have not checked the back of Blind's Hut. I don't think they will check that until they come to a point where they're completely stuck. Of course, if there's nothing there, it won't matter, but that could still be in play. 5 rupees on the desert ledge. Swerb is going to be getting a hint for us here very shortly if he can get through the thief and the wall master that's showing up here. That's interesting. And the hint in Thieves Town is blocked by spikes. A unique item is the Palace of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's your flipper. There's your flipper clue a little too late.
True.
There's the red boomerang in Agina. Swerb is now going to pull out a bomb and blow up the hole. I don't think there's much point to blowing up that hole, though, in Randomizer, since the enemies are random. I don't believe the maiden
but it could still be blind.
Ah, yes, okay. Does that still require the maiden in that case?
I don't actually know. Probably not.
He is still going to go to get the maiden's chest out of the basement, though. That chest is still there, so we'll see either way. As Swerb makes his way through the conveyor belt room ahead here. Pretty vanilla room here today.
Did you see what that hint said?
I did not. Perhaps Shaq can help us out with that.
I will check the restream video here as well. A bottle is in your empty house.
Thanks, game.
And Desert is boots locked there with the small key on the torch. At least the right side of Desert, of course.
DaringRetreat has to battle this little mini Helmastar who normally you can use the hook
number
shot.
2.
You can normally use the hook shot to grab the mask off that face as well. That's another way to fight that you don't see very often, but it is possible to get behind there without pulling the mask off. We have another death to a cold stare. This was probably planned though because of the death warp.
And the big key is vanilla in Desert, so boots required.
Good news is they already have the boots, so that won't be a problem for them. We only have 6 hearts so far. Now, noting one of the differences in hard mode difficulty, they only have 14 hearts available to them in the entire game. So there are only 9 heart pieces, or heart containers rather, and 20 heart pieces. 4 heart pieces and 5 heart containers have been removed from the item pool. Swerb is doing a check of digging game. First look at digging game. We are going to try to count the digs here. I'm at 10 so far. Dig number 13 and 14 were some magic. So we're up to about... Dig 21 is a 5-pack, and he says no thanks.
Yep, and DaringRetreat making the play over to the man under the bridge. Getting some bombs for his work.
Not sure what the guy on the bridge was planning to do with those bombs, but... Maybe he used to work in the armory at Hyrule Castle and got fired or something.
Yeah, he wasn't a very good soldier because Link got in and killed Aga, so he got canned.
DaringRetreat taking the warp to the Aghanim area. We are going to get a check. Ooh, bush crab in the water. We're going to get a check of the waterfall cave here, and then we're going to get to see what King Zora has to offer for 500 rupees today. Silver arrows in the waterfall. Flute! Ooh, waterfall cave is worth it. DaringRetreat is going to check out what the fairy offers in between. So silver arrows, the flute, and a bee.
A bee. But is it a good bee? Because a good bee could be 100 rupees if needed.
Master sword and Hype Cave.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was mostly money. I would give that maybe about a 7 for the sword. It's no 10.
7 seems a bit high, but that's just me.
Upgrade sword is useful. We don't have a hammer yet. And that's not really a life lesson or a bad financial deal. That's just a very expensive fruit purchase.
That's gotta be some really good blueberries.
They better be.
Maybe if they're like the size of your head.
So the dwarf is now being taken home. I don't think we've seen this yet, so this is new information for us. And we have just another pack of bombs. DaringRetreat is going to free the bird now that he has the flute from Waterfall Cave. I did not catch what was on the Zora ledge, by the way. We'll have to see if we can get that from Swerb later. Swerb starts at Sanctuary and says, oops, gonna try that again. He moves instead back to his house. DaringRetreat has freed his Hyrule transportation system. Immediately calls on it to warp to Death Mountain.
Swerb making the play over here to Lake Hylia as well, and then probably onto Zora to also pick up their silver arrows and flute.
And Daring Retreat is also going to get the old man from that bet cave, so he's going to unlock the start point as well, so he doesn't have to flute every time. I wonder what the old man's going to have for us today.
Does Daring Retreat not know that you can use flippers and hookshot to get to the left side of Dark World? Because he doesn't have either glove yet.
Yeah, he has not gone to Fellowship of Outcasts yet, so I wonder if he is aware that he can do that. I would imagine at this stage of the tournament, most of our runners will know that. It is one of those so-called gotchas that you see in the randomizer. It's actually listed in one of our randomizer help documents that you can do that, as that has been a common question asked how to progress when you have those flippers and the hook shot.
Swerb is deciding to pop over to Ice Rod Cave here to pick up the big 20 that we saw Daring Retreat already grab.
We're going to get a hint here and behind 50 rupees. We're going to find out a piece of heart and a map is fire-locked in Misery Mire. Well, we're not going to go to the fire-locked area in Misery Mire today.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's a forgettable area. Daring Retreat tries to bomb jump, fails, falls down to the bridge. He'll at least pick up a fairy while he's down here. And off he goes out the lower entrance. Swerb is now warping up to the Zora area himself. He's going to pick up his silver arrows. He's going to pick up his flute. And I think he'll be happy to get that flute.
Yeah, definitely helps a lot with routing through Hyrule. It could also give us a trek over to Misery Mire, as Swerve has already picked up Titan Smiths.
Yes.
So a new area for us to potentially be exploring.
Daring Retreat is checking Paradox Cave right now as we get our look at the Zora Ledge, because I think we missed it before. 5 rupees. I missed the first time in Paradox Cave, but I saw 20 rupees in the second chest.
2 big 20s.
2 big 20s, excellent. And we are going to the 5 chest room in the back now, or upstairs in the back. And no many motorums today, just a couple of squids and one of the rhinoceros. Gets out a boomerang to strats for the switch today. 5 rupees, 20 rupees, 5 rupees.
Come on, 20. Oh.
Bombs.
Hey.
Hammer.
Nice.
So at least we know the hammer was not locked in the back of Blind's hut.
Right.
Even though neither runner has checked out, we know the hammer is here now. I think it's safe to say at this point that, yeah, I think we did see what Agana. Did we see what Agana was already?
What?
Did we see what Agana was earlier?
Agina? Yes.
Agina, yes.
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about Aga still, and I was like,
oh, sorry,
what?
Agina.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, if it was, I don't think it was like rupees, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I think it's safe to say Aconum was required today because the hammer is in this convoluted place. Yeah, because we had to get the. I'm still trying to figure out the logic in my head now. What's that? How it works?
Agina's was a red boomerang.
Oh yes, the red boomerang. That's right. I'm getting a mention in chat to stop calling them rhinoceroses. They're called Zazaks. Thank you for that.
Or horse heads, because they have horse heads.
So
and
yes,
Swerb just going straight for the lumberjack item. He's not going to check it first.
And just to answer another question, chat, yes, the enemies are randomized too. Not just that, but all the bosses are randomized too. We already have 2 cold stairs that we're going to have to fight later once we get some kind of fire.
And Daring Retreat doing the basement of Hera. As he also read the hint, the first hint there in Hera basement saying that some cash is held with the fishes. So that would have been probably catfish.
And this is not really a coffee break room today, as he was standing on one of those pegs, and the tile the peg was on lifted up underneath of him. So he kind of has to run around now and deal with it, as the tiles look like they spell out
No.
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 And we did not even pay attention to Swerb playing the flute over there. Very beautiful playing, as his duck is now loose. And what is in the chest after the normal coffee break room? We're going to find out
The
right
big
now
key.
as we...
Yeah, has to be the big key.
Oh, I didn't even... Yep, I wasn't even paying attention. Good call. He's going to death warp back to the front since he still doesn't have the mirror. He's going to head upstairs and see what he has to fight in the pit today. I'd say the most interesting enemy for this would be the Landmolas.
I've had Cold Stare on this before, and with the hole in the middle, it's a pretty big nightmare. I do also know that Randomizer tends to put a bunch of the same boss there, so we may end up seeing another Cold
It is
Stare.
leaning towards Cold Stare being a possibility. DaringRetreat has not picked up his Master Sword yet. I'm trying to remember where that second sword was. I think it was somewhere in Village of Outcast somewhere, or in Thieves Town somewhere. Swerve's going to get his $50 from inside Spectral Rock. He's going to get his useful hint. Oh, those vultures from the desert. We got a mushroom. A heart container requires the hammer. What's with all the hammer hints today?
Yeah. Swerb going for the bomb jump as well. But he
Very
gets
nicely
that
done.
one.
We got a thief trying to chase down our hero at the top of Tower of Hera. And it's Vitreous. That can be a very dangerous fight in this area. That can be because you got the eyeballs all over the pit. So the runners are taking the effort to try bomb, or at least DaringRetreat is trying to use bombs on them.
Ooh.
Does get zapped by the lightning. That hurts a little bit. Doesn't have... Yeah, I don't think... I thought they picked up silver arrows earlier. Did I read that wrong?
You can only use silver arrows on Ganon in...
oh, yes, that's
logic.
true. That's true.
So bombs are a quick way to get the eyes down before switching to the bow. Swerb about to pick up his hammer, which will give the dark, or the full dark world access that he's been looking for, as well as that allows him to get to Hera here as well.
Fighter Sword Vitreous. This has just got to be a nightmare for DaringRetreat right now. He's still fighting the eyeballs. The lightning is still being shot from the central eye. As Swerb is now making his way past the hookshot cave would be another world. Oh, DaringRetreat takes a death. I wonder if he's going to stop this fight and come back here later as he does the bombs as well. Nope, he's going to give another old call try here. Swerb taking his run through the spiral cave. What is at the bottom of spiral cave today? Just a shield. Well, at least he can protect himself now.
These BMOs are really mean.
Those are very nicely placed BMOs too. Those are a nice little guarding post for anyone walking in.
Swerb will be able to check Turtle Rock as he's got the hammer and mitts, so we could potentially find out which of the two medallions that we will need for Misery Mire and Turtle Rock.
It looks like he's not ready to do that yet. He's going first towards Tower of Hera. I think he's going to follow Daring Retreat up the tower, and he's going to go do the Ether Tablet first because he has the book and the Master Sword. We know it's nothing interesting. It was just things that go boom, if I remember that hint. There's your things that go boom. So now I think he'll go to Tower of Hera and try that out as well.
All right, so Daring Retreat starting over on Vitreous here. He does not have the full 10 bombs that he had last time. Ooh, and already getting struck by that lightning.
Already down to 1 heart. I can't see this ending well. This is a very tough fight with Fighter Sword.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, that was very close. A lightning zap now, and so would the shot from the eye. As Swerb gets to say no. Daring Retreat does say no, thank you. I'll come back later. And it's worth noting that at 56.5 minutes into this race, neither runner has a dungeon cleared yet. Neither runner. We've had 2 cold stares. We have the Vitreous at the top of Tower of Hera. I think that's about all we know so far.
Yep, and Daring Retreat, having not made it over to Village of Outcast yet, still running around without a hammer.
No, he has the hammer. I think you're referring to the Power Glove.
Yes.
Titan.
Yes, the gloves. That's what I meant. Thank you.
Swerb has taken his long Urn Death Warp to the front of Tower of Hera. And he will now get to climb up towards Vitreous and probably have an easier time because he has the Master Sword, but still a very difficult fight. We're accidentally spin attacks the switch. That went off a few times in the midst of that attack, as he now makes his way through the big key door, and he is making his climb.
Daring Retreat with the hammer, going to be heading south across the bridge here, likely stopping at Hype Cave. Will be picking up his Master Sword on his way over to the Village of Outcast.
Ah, that's where the Master was. Swerb gets his mushroom. I don't think either runner has checked the witch yet. I don't think Daring Retreat checked that earlier. It was a piece of heart at the front of Hype Cave. So yeah, the sword was the only thing really worthwhile, and he is cursing himself right now. He does not have bombs. So I think he's going to try farm for a bomb right now and see what's in Hype Cave.
There are a couple places where you can farm for the 50-50 chance to get a bomb, but most of them require the glove or a glove. But heading up here to the bomb shop is a really good way to pick up a couple.
Yeah, you have to buy them, but you can get them.
Yes. And one thing that's kind of cool about buying bombs at the bomb shop, if you've already picked up like a bomb capacity upgrade, or 2 or 3, if you buy bombs from the bomb shop, instead of just getting a pack of 10, it will completely fill up all of your bombs that you have the ability to hold.
Yep, that's a fill bomb available. You see, when I get his Master Sword, he's going to be happy that he got those bombs. Probably wish he had that for the Vitreous fight. It's worth knowing as well that you can also get, when you do get the bomb upgrades that you get near the Ice Palace area will actually fill your bomb bag as well. So if you don't have any bombs or arrows even, you can fill those up with the upgrades. Of course, the upgrades in this mode, being hard difficulty, now cost 200 rupees, but they are there. They are back in hard mode.
All right, and Swerb, the first of our 2 runners here to pick up a crystal. First boss down.
We're only 1 hour into the seed. That's our first dungeon. Buckle up, everyone.
I think anytime after we find Bombos, both of our runners will be able to, Bombos or Fire Rat, of course, both runners will be able to finish off the bosses that we've already visited so far.
Bombos is more flashy, so that's probably what the runners want to see right now.
Yeah, it also takes less mana, so if you needed it for Magic Cape to keep yourself alive or anything, that could potentially help as well.
DaringRetreat looked to find his $5 in the digging game. Heart container is in Spike Cave. It's worth knowing that in hard mode, even though the consumption rates have changed in Spike Cave, you will always have the same regular consumption that you would get in that cave because it is such a long cave.
Yep. And Swerb is now looking to be making the play over to the east side of Death Mountain to then head into Dark Death Mountain. We'll be able to check Hookshot, Turtle Rock, and finish up all of the item locations here until we have access to Turtle Rock.
We can also find out what medallion is required for Turtle Rock today. It's worth knowing we don't have any medallions yet, so this could be useful information for when we find that medallion later.
All right, Super Bunny Cave coming up for Swerb.
Ooh, there's a Beamos guarding it.
Ooh, got zapped almost.
Ooh, that I think was the ice rod.
Yeah. Oh,
Kane
another
of
Kane.
Samaria, ladies and gentlemen, it's gotta be Kane.
No, it doesn't gotta be. It could be, but it doesn't gotta be. All right, and Turtle Rock is an Ether Medallion.
Very useful information for Swerb to obtain. He'll be keeping an eye out for that Ether Medallion later. Could very well be here in Hookshot Cave.
Oh,
And he kills an invisible enemy. Well, I'm glad we don't have to worry about that guy anymore. There's the other boomerang. I don't think he's going to want to hookshot over until that mummy's out of there. So he's going to freeze that guy and he's going to make his way over.
Pick him up and throw him. Yes!
Oh, that was beautiful.
I kind of feel like every time you need Fire Rod or a medallion to enter Turtle Rock, it's always maybe 90% of the time it's in Hookshot Cave.
Did you notice what that medallion was, by the way?
Yeah, it was Ether. That's why I was mentioning it.
Yeah.
Whatever medallion you need or Fire Rod for Turtle Rock, I swear it's always in Hookshot Cave.
It's always, as I think Dr. Bob said that once in a similar situation, it's always under the mat, he said. Always seems to be nearby. And just a load of money from the mushroom today, so not worth the investment of time for Swerb.
And DaringRetreat going through this trouble with these silly anti-fairies in this room. Avoiding
this room
masters.
This room is actually nasty without the powder today. Those anti-fairies don't make it fun. Okay, what does the magic bat have today? Let's figure out what the curse of the day is. As the curse is granted, and we are cursed by having less life, which means we got a small piece of heart. Okay, we are getting a Misery Mire check here. I don't know. We don't know what is required for it yet, but we are going to at least clean up the Mire's shed and figure out what's in Checkerboard Cave while we're here.
Ooh, bombos.
That's a Bombos, yep. And watch Bombos be here in this cave.
That never happens. Okay.
I think I'm going to get burned.
You're fired. Just kidding.
I think the pyre is being built for me right now.
Indeed. Well, that does open up our access to the Eastern Palace boss with Cold Stare, as well as the Thieves Town boss, also Cold Stare. You can use the Bombos Medallion to break off the hard ice shell around the Cold Stare pink puffs, which then you can finish off the boss.
So Swerb makes his way into Misery Mire. Very, very confusing dungeon for casual players. It's easy to get lost in here with all the different ways you can go. I found a fairy at the in the walkway here, and some of the electrical zapping enemies we have to kill.
The berries.
The jellyfish.
And the pickles.
This is a veritable cornucopia of enemies today. Mini Moldorm running around in here too.
Yes. So DaringRetreat finally dipping into Thieves Town. Already picked up the power glove from the brewery or the bombable hut. Gonna be grabbing their Titan's mitts and progressing through. Gonna find Cold Stare here and probably nope out as soon as they find that.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to want to try and fight that without his fire. Swerb gets his big key from the chest on the bridge. So that's the first chest check. We already can get to the boss. We don't know who the boss is yet. DaringRetreat takes a death somewhere in the entrance area of Thieves Town. He's going to go back in and keep getting items. Interesting spike room today in Mire. Swerb decides to leave that for now. May go back later.
And do you remember that the hint said nothing of value? A map and I think some cash was hidden on the left side of Misery Mire. So I'm going to be checking just a couple more chests here and then heading down to Vitreous or, well, whatever boss may be here.
You are correct. It is map and some cash. So the map will count into the item count for Swerve's analysis. He's going to keep an eye out for a compass. If a compass shows up, then we'll know that the rest of the chests are items at this point. There's a key. There's that compass. We know Spike Room likely has something then because he has all 3 keys. So he does get to do this from the bottom entrance now. We will now find out what is in this chest. It is a fire rod. Oh, at least Trinex is now able to be defeated.
Please, please let it be Trinex. Please. Oh, DaringRetreat with 1 heart. This room is awful.
That Wallmaster makes it a lot less fun too. And he takes death to the Annie Fairy. He tried to get some health and it didn't work out. Found Igor in the back or in the basement of Misery Mire and dodging the usual fire. That thing doesn't change. That still remains where it is. Ooh, another Igor. I think the red Igor.
Fortunately, this is not a room that you have to kill any mobs to get through, so
Correct.
we just passing right by.
See you later. As it wakes up, just walk through the door. And we come upstairs in Misery Mire to find a skull and a red guard who, for some reason, is hanging out here. Gets mobilized and defeated. And we're now going to find out just what the boss of Misery Mire is.
That's not Trinex.
You gotta be kidding. How? I think the goo is still back there, so this is pretty much a magic required fight at this point, I believe.
Yeah, and Swerb does still have a blue potion. DaringRetreat used a blue potion against Vitreous in Tower of Hera, so
we now have to wait for the well, got it out. And we get our final key.
For nothing.
Swerb waits for nothing. You wait for Swerb. The Swerb gets out his flute and changes his mind, saves and quits. I guess he was setting up the flute play for when he got back into the game and came out, but he decided to go to Death Mountain instead. And gets the flute out anyway, so I guess he wanted to have some more health for this next play. As he warps down to the Eastern Palace area. And now he has that fire rod. You bet he's going to go and take out those cold stairs he found already.
Yes. I'm surprised that he didn't head to... Oh, I guess no mirror. Never mind. I was going to say, I'm surprised he didn't go to the Dark World first, but not... Yeah, no mirror. Never mind.
Yeah, we don't even know what the boss of Palace of Darkness is yet. I know DaringRetreat was in there. I think Swerve was too, but I'm not sure. He cleared it out first, I believe. So neither was able to get back there. They didn't have the hammer at that time. They now have the hammer, so they could go to, once they're done in Eastern Palace, or can just head right down, go to the Dark World, see what the Palace of Darkness boss is, and never have to come back here again. We're getting serenaded as he walks along. And we're back in this ugly room. Gets through it, however, very quickly. And into another. Yep, there's the Armos Knight hanging out in that area today. Or rather, the Armos, not the Armos Knights.
That little Patrick thing got stuck. That was odd.
Very interesting.
Alright, so Swerb going to be heading up against Cold Stare with the Bombos Medallion as well as Master Sword. Can still take a little bit of work with Master Sword, but I'm pretty confident that he'll get it with pretty good ease.
So I think that was Thieves Town that DaringRetreat was in. He just found the Krakos back there, if I was correct.
There's a second Cold Stare in Thief Town, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, that's where the second Cold Stare was. I saw him just find a Cold Stare. I believe that was the room he was in. I didn't notice exactly where he was at that point.
Yeah, that was in Thieves Town.
And we have a bundle of sticks.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, yeah, we have a bundle of sticks from the first Cold Stare. DaringRetreat getting his bombos from the Mire Shed. Also a single rupee. We didn't know that because, well, it's a single rupee.
Right, so we're now making the same play, but to Pulse of Darkness now, so we'll be able to find out what that boss is. He does have the ability to complete and finish any boss that the game might want to throw at him now, so...
Actually, if I'm reading this correctly, we know what both of the entry points for the pendants are. Swamp Palace is still required, so we still need the mirror somewhere. We're not in go mode yet because we still need that mirror. But other than that, I think that is his go mode item today.
Yep. And it could also be on pedestal.
Correct.
It could also be in the back of Blind's head.
Which is what we're going to find out right now. Well, in a little while, because there's a cold stare back there.
You're talking.
You're talking
right.
Thieves Down, yeah. Back of Blind's Hut, that could very well be a mirror, and boy, would that be something that there's a bit of a facepalm over if it turns out that's a mirror.
All right, that room in Palace of Darkness normally has the mimics holding 3 red Zazaks that can also be pretty scary, even with not having to worry about Bo.
Yeah, just even going through Thieves Town, sometimes those enemies can just take you by surprise. But obviously, seasoned runners know how they move. When you get in the room, they can deal with any movement that they know is going to happen. Whereas when they appear in Randomizer, it can be a little more tricky to deal with because you're not used to how they move in that area.
Yes, indeed.
So the Ice Rod and Cane Smire for Daring Retreat from the Super Bunny Cave now. I think he's going to be a little happy to see that Cane, maybe unhappy because that suggests Troll Rock could be on the menu soon. And the boss of Palace of Darkness today, as Swerb gets in the door, is another cold stare. Why not just have a cold stare everywhere today? So he throws out another round of Bombos Fire and melts another shell. This cold stare is hiding over some spikes as well, so it's going to be a little bit of a dangerous area. You can't just go up in the corner like you can in the vanilla room. So he's taken out the 2 eyes in the bottom corner. One gets away. They're all spread out now. This is very dangerous with spikes in the top of the room. So Swerb has to control the bottom of the room at this point, dodging the rocks, I guess you could say they are at this point. 2 eyes do fall. And the 3rd eye is being hit with a hammer, and it falls. And as the Swerb gets a celebratory hammer pound, he picks up 5 rupees.
That is also a 5/6 crystal, the second one being at Turtle Rock. I'm curious whether or not we will need to do the Pyramid Fairy today. Could have the mirror.
That would be really disgusting.
More so than pedestal? I don't know.
Both have a rarity to them, that's for sure. So both are very silly locations for that beer to show up.
And Swerve is heading straight to Turtle Rock, so...
I don't question that play at this point. There are a few more items in there, and the mirror could easily be inside there as well. Actually, no, can it?
Yes, it can't be a mini cave, okay. But it can be inside of Turtle Rock.
Correct. Daring Retreat uses his bottles to open up the door to Misery Mire. He's going to make his way through there now. It's worth knowing that Daring Retreat has not completed a single dungeon yet. It looks like he's having a very difficult time getting his footing in the sea today, but now he's got some items in tow. I don't think it'll be long before he starts getting some of those crystals out of the way.
Yep. Especially picking up Fire Rod here in Misery Mire will definitely make several of the dungeons available and much more easily completed, even with Bombos. And he may also be thinking about leaving Tower of Hera as the final crystal that he picks up so that he can simply just mirror back to do Ganon's Tower after he finishes Tower of Hera.
And that's actually a very good strategy as well, as we find out some cash is in the Lost Woods. Thanks, game.
Yeah.
So the first chest in Thieves Town, we come down to the rotating area, whatever you want to call it. There's a fire shield in that chest, one of the shield upgrades. Being on hard mode, that is the last shield upgrade we will see. 3 are programmed, 1 will turn to rupees now. Not that our riders really care about the riot shield, but it's a thing. And then rollers are gone in this room. We have a spike and a mini Helmasaur. In the back of the room, we have 2 keys. So, time to proceed.
Oh no, Daring Retreat getting snagged. They're going to have to head back to the beginning of the dungeon. Though having picked up Fire Rod, I was going to say they may leave to go do some Cold Stare fights, but...
No, when you're already here, you might as well finish it off at this point. I don't question that decision at all. And there's our final medallion as we get the Quake medallion from what is normally the Chain Chomp room. Of course, they're not there today. Ooh, nicely placed Bombos. Right next to a Fire Rod. That is dangerous. Finds a way to sneak through, takes a Bombos hit, and goes through the access point.
Yep, going to be heading towards the Vanilla Big Key location here in Turtle Rock, or the Lava Chest.
The Lava Island, as I like to call it. Normally there's a group of 4 anti-fairies in this room that can be used for health refills at this point. They're not here in the seed, plus they would only be hearts anyway.
Yep, but using a stun prize pack to pick up a couple extra hearts, so we're making good work with that.
Very
also,
good use of the prize pack.
Yeah, and using Hookshot to hookshot a heart will occasionally grant you double hearts. So he got a couple extra health points there.
It looks like the jelly was the key today for this room, so we're going to go in here now. We're going to find the big key. It's Vanilla Big Key location.
Yeah.
Ignores the Zarby at the top of the room. No need to fight that now. As he makes his way back.
Daring Retreat opening the final chest here for the compass. Going to be heading back to the lower and back end of Misery Mire to go up against the moth that's here in Misery Mire.
And of course, we can't check Mimic Cave right now. Boy, would that be a nasty location for something at this point, but there's nothing that can be there that would be of use at this point, so we're not worried about it. We're fighting thieves everywhere today. Holy.
Yeah, fortunately they are thieves that you can kill, because in the regular settings you aren't able to kill the thieves.
Oh, nice spot for the spike where the firebar usually rests. It's Swerb knows that side of the room is going to be safe, so he takes the long way around to get through there, not the normal way through. Good awareness of his surroundings there. As he comes down to the laser bridge area, he does need the key, so it's on laser bridge. And there are 3 more items down here as well, possibly a dungeon item or 2. He's taken the safe road access with the bomb, so he's going to go out there because he only has, obviously, the fire shield, doesn't have the mirror shield, only has 5 hearts. Doesn't want a chance having to go back a long way because of the fire bars here. Lasers.
Taking that safety save door is always a really good idea. Having boots, though, definitely makes a lot of these laser skips a lot easier.
Ooh, he takes a... Well, good thing he took the safety door. He just took a death from that laser in the pit. And 1 more chest if he chooses to check it. Not worth the time, just a few bombs. And he stops and scratches his head for a minute, and then he slowly makes his way to the back of the boss to fight the boss. DaringRetreat, meanwhile, does take out the bug inside Misery Mire. He now has his first crystal at 1 hour, 26 minutes into the seed today.
Yep, and Swerb getting ready to check the boss here inside of Turtle Rock. Could potentially be a vanilla Trinex. It may also be another cold stare.
Like we don't have enough of those already.
You're right.
Or it could be a three-eyed Moldorm. That's...
Is that because there's normally 3-headed dragon in here, so they give him 3 eyes to be tri-eyes?
I have no comment. That's actually funny. It's the first time I've seen that. Never seen a 3-eyed Moldorm before. And Swerb dispatches it with no problems. And heads to the center of the room to get his prize, which is just a bundle of sticks. DaringRetreat is in the witch's hut calling for the bird to carry him to, looks like, the Eastern Palace area. He's going to go take out the cold stare in that area as Swerb gets his 5th crystal today. He has 2 left. We are still looking for the mirror. Boy, wouldn't it be interesting if the mirror is in Ice Palace all the way at the back?
Could also still be a blindside.
It could be, and that's the most interesting location for it right now. And if it is there, the question of the scene will be who goes there first.
Right.
Actually, I think at this point, looking at DaringRetreat's inventory, even though he is far behind in the crystal count, he also is 1 mirror away from go mode. I think he has everything he needs aside from that mirror. So where that mirror is crucially important to the seed right now. Swerb is going to check the Pyramid Fairy. This could be the mirror. Not likely, but it's come down to Pyramid Fairy for several seeds I've called already, so it would not surprise me at all to see the mirror here today. While Swerb makes his way up there and while DaringRetreat retraces previous steps that Swerb has taken, I just want to remind you, take an opportunity to follow these runners. They're going through a very tough seed. Put on a good show for you today. They do deserve your support. So definitely spend some time with them in their own streams. Swerb gets to Pyramid Fairy. We find the Tempered Sword and the mirror!
What is it with these Pyramid Fairy, Waterfall Fairy, Silvers, Flute, Tempered Sword, Mirror? That is ridiculous.
I think I'm going to have to give myself a nickname around the Pyramid Fairy now. It seems to usually have some play. I don't know why that is with me. So DaringRetreat is working his way through the very difficult final room before the boss here. He is going to get to the cold stare. He gets an 8-pack of bombs, not that they're very useful now. And time to get some fire and crack the shell of cold stare. Oh, I forgot to note that Swerb at 1 hour and 29 minutes is now in go mode as well.
Oh no. DaringRetreat with another death there. Gonna need to find some magic refill.
The Swerb makes his way into Swamp Palace. I have pretty much, unless something really silly happens, I think he's pretty much has this in hand. But of course, this is Randomizer. Anything can happen. He can have a difficult time with a room somewhere that DaringRetreat could have an easy time with. So we don't know yet what's going to happen.
DaringRetreat, thinking about where some magic containers could possibly be.
They only have 7 hearts too. This is not a very high health seed, even for hard mode.
No, it seems that they likely had a few health options, possibly in desert on the boss there, or all within Ganon's tower, I suppose.
Yeah, they could be locked within Ganon's tower. You can see any kind of weird setup for Ganon's tower. I've seen 3 swords locked in Ganon's tower before, or by Ganon's tower. So yeah, it's very possible that some of that health could be hiding in there today.
I do believe you said it was 14 total hearts, so they're like
Yeah.
half our hearts available now. So
Correct. They've only picked up 4 hearts in all their travel so far. There's still 7 out there. DaringRetreat's going to have to get some magic. He's not going to be able to take on Cold Stare at this point. There, just as I say, conveniently drops a magic jar. Very nice.
right, so we're just a room or so away from the boss here in Swamp Palace. I'm going to be seeing what we have as our almost last crystal boss.
So duel of boss fights. We have Swerb getting blind in Swamp Palace. We have DaringRetreat fighting his second shot at Cold Stare in the back of Eastern Palace. Swerb gets the first head off of blind. Working on the second head right now. Gets that off. DaringRetreat is down to 2 eyes. Still has lots of health. Should be okay with this fight. Swerb is getting low on health. 1.5 hearts remaining as he gets the third head, but he got it. And DaringRetreat is down to 1 eye. 5 rupees for Swerb's efforts on blind.
Ooh,
DaringRetreat
DaringRetreat got a hug.
But he had some potion, it looks like, or fairy or something.
Yeah.
So he gets the eye out. Yes. He gets his 10-pack sticks from the middle of the room and gets his second crystal of today's seed. Swerb is now on crystal number 6. And the only one he has left is up in, let me see.
Thieves Town.
That's Thieves Town. I was trying to think. That's the normal blind icon. Yeah, it is Thieves Town. And that was a Cold Stare, so we already know what's back there. It's not going to be not going to be long, rather, until we are on our way to Ganon's Tower. I will not start it yet, but there is a game we normally play. And if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching our VOD in some other fashion afterwards, this is the game we normally play in the live Twitch chat. It's for subscribers or people who donate 250 bits or more to the channel. We will start that game in a little while for the people who are in chat today.
This will be a very quick clear for Swerb, as he's pretty much just got to head directly to the boss room. Just pretty much stairs climb here and a room away.
So we have a cold stare fight from Swerb as DaringRetreat makes his way through Palace of Darkness. Going to go straight to the back as he cleared this out pretty much earlier. Swerb has his 3 eyes. They got away from the corner. But very, very easily dispatched. He got some good damage on those before they got away from the corner. So there's the compass for Swerb. Not really something of use right now. And at this time, we are going to start our game. Get your numbers in chat, everyone, as we try to figure out where Gannon has stashed that big key today. Where do you think that big key is today, Miss Metroid?
I usually guess the fire snake room, or depending on how they open up the chests, chest number 9.
Well, I'm always going to go with, I say it's always 11. Because, well, always. Swerve gets nailed by one of the rocks falling from the mountain there, one of the cabbages we like to call them. He's going to make his way through via the hook shot route to Gan's Tower today. So Swerve comes out upstairs. He's going to head over to the Turtle Rock area so he can get to the Dark World. For those of you who are subscribers or donators to the channel, get your guesses in chat. The guessing will close around the time you see him enter Ganon's Tower. Swerve now goes into the Dark World once again. DaringRetreat is on his way to the boss of Palace of Darkness. And DaringRetreat is now going to start his fight against the Cold Stare back there because, you know, why not? And look at that fish in the Dark World today. A nice little bouncing fish. Don't know how he got up there, but he's up there.
And thanks to Arborelia in chat for the 300 bits. We appreciate your support to Speed Gaming.
And we're now in Gan's Tower. Swerve is doing the right side play today. Guesses, by the way, are closed for the big key game. And let's see what we find.
Small key to start. 2 small keys to start.
And he does not make the play to the... We seem to have lost the audio all of a sudden on him, but he is not making the right side play with those keys. He is going to the left side. Another key, because why not? Kind of strange that Swerve's audio just suddenly vanished, but we will go with it here. He is in the lead.
Yeah, I can hear like the keys pickups and stuff, but the music for some
Correct.
reason is gone. Odd.
There's the shovel back in Ganon's Tower, so we know that didn't come into play today. DaringRetreat picks up some goo from the witch. Tries to overshot, but is told he can't get another one because he's out of bottles. This is location number 8, I believe. What is normally, I think that's normally the fire bar room.
Yep. And DaringRetreat looks to be making the dash up here.
Look at this mosh pit of enemies. Holy cow. He gets to
Nice.
the switch, to the portal though, and gets to the other room. And there's a $20 collectible from that chest. We're going to move next to Rando Room. Rando Room has 4 chests, chest number 10 to 13 today. There's now some discussion in chat where this is related to some kind of thing that was found with the Randomizer that was fixed in version 30.3. So we'll see what happens here. If there's something that happens related to this, there's about the same arrow in the back of the in the Randomizer room.
So some people will say that if you find 2 keys or a key in the Hope room or the first room on the right in Ganon's tower, that it's better to check full right because of Ganon tower key logic. But
yeah, the 2 keys there might be a hint that there's something on the right side, but again, we won't know until we actually find it. It could very well still be behind the normal fight down here below this hole for what we know. So that was location number 14. Today we're going to find, instead of ice armor, we're going to find Trinex on ice.
wow.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I don't know if this is almost as bad as having Helmasaur on Ice Armos. This is really scary.
What is worse than Ice Armos Knights? Trinex on ice.
No.
And he takes a death. He's going to have to come all the way back here. He might just go right side, though, and rule this out first. But if the big key is back there, he will have to fight that Ice Trinex again. We have our music back, so it looks like there might have been some kind of bug related to the music when he picked up those keys. I don't know how that worked, but the music is back now. DaringRetreat finds out that he can find some cash in the Lost Woods, just what he needs to find today. Swerb is doing the right side play at this point, so he's working his way through the torches. Because we die after chest number 14, Swerb is going to be opening chest number 15 to 18 in this room, so those guesses are up if you pick those numbers. We have some sticks, some arrows, a piece of heart, the compass, and the red rupee. We have to fight.
Wow.
On ice, or it's in Tower Room. It could be in Tower Room. At this point, I would say take the gamble on Tower Room first. Otherwise, we have to fight Trinex on ice. That is horrible.
Spike ball here too. That's
yeah. Those spikes are awful.
I almost feel like sick to my stomach for Swerb at the prospect of having to fight Trinex here.
Yeah, I have a feeling DaringRetreat won't like that either. I'm actually wondering how far DaringRetreat will go with this seed because he is significantly behind at this point. Not that we obviously need to point that out, but he's having a very difficult time with his seed. It took him a while even to get his first crystal in this seed. So this seed Swerb had his difficulties as well, but the seed definitely has been getting both of our runners today. So Swerb takes his second shot at Trinex. The first head recovers. It is now going to try to spit some fire again. Swerb does have some goo he's using to refill his magic. Very helpful in this case. The center head takes a bite at him. The first head is destroyed, so let's not lose our... Ooh, he's almost out of health again. This fight is hard. This is a really hard fight. Oh my.
Yikes.
That's another death to Trinex. I wonder if Swerb is going to go restock his potions at this point before coming back, or whether he might just do Tower Room. I would do Tower Room at this point. And yeah, this is a better play. I like this play. So at least we can confirm that, yes, we have to do it. Then he knows DaringRetreat has to do it as well, and it won't be as bad. But if we leave Tower Room unchecked, that'll bug him. That'll be on his mind for a while. So Tower Room is now chest number 19, and we're going to get that very shortly. 40 seconds of spelling no, and we're going to get it.
Yeah, this is a really cool trick that Swerve's pulling off. Using the magic cape, if you use the cape, grab onto a wall and pull, your magic bar will not deplete and you remain invisible and invincible during this time. So it's a waiting game, but at least you don't have to worry about dodging tiles, dodging wall masters, and the Hinox that's here in this room as well.
Hinox is hanging around there. He might have to take some damage to it to get away because he's almost out of magic. Oh, the Hinox wandered off. Good. And I realize he has to fight the Hinox because, you know, it's an enemy.
Oh,
5 rupees. We
wow.
have to do the try next fight. I think he might be, well, he's getting the magic right now, but I would not be surprised if he bails, goes to the witch and says, give me your best medicine, please.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like that's what he's... Oh, no.
No, he's going to go straight back. He's a braver man than I am, that's for sure.
This is scary.
Just so you know, chat, we could be here for a while. This could take at least a few more attempts. This is very, very difficult. I, myself, don't like the irregular Trinex fight. Put it on ice. It is a nightmare.
I mean, Cyclone, to be fair, you did say that unless Swerb comes across something really, really difficult or janky, that DaringRetreat was going to have a hard time catching up. Is this what you meant?
This would qualify. I don't think this is what I had in mind, but this would qualify. So as he makes his way towards the Bob room again, which we know he's not there because we've, well, needless to say, there's different enemies in there today, but normally Bob would be down here. We go down and try the Trinex fight for the 3rd time. Let's see what happens this time. He gets the fire rod out. He's immediately working on the ice head this time for the first go. He casts the magic. He gets a couple swings in. First head is down. That's a good start. That's a fantastic start to this fight. So now off to the left head and the fire head. He's going to get the ice rod out. He has it out. He's missing the shots. This is not good. Center head takes a bite. Now he's getting the shots in on the head. Center head takes another bite. Oh! I think it's time to get some medicine. Nope. This is like beating your head against a wall, but I guess he's confident in his ability to eventually pull this fight off, so we're going to go with it. There's that free magic refill. You get that every time you walk in there. And back to the left side. We're going to follow back in. DaringRetreat takes on the 3-headed or 3-eyed Landmolus in the back of Troll Rock. And I have to ask someone about that later to see why it is 3 eyes here. I'm sure it is a Trinex reference, as you said earlier. Very, very humorous to see that.
Apparently it's a known bug. It happens in Randomizer with Moldorm, so...
Okay, interesting. And we are joined in chat by Zarby, in the text chat, Zarby tonight. Hello, Zarby. How are you doing this evening? He is the developer of the Randomizer, and he is responsible for a lot of the cruelty that you're seeing here right now.
Right, Daring Retreat. Heading to Ice Palace?
Yep, that seems to be where he's going.
What for, I wonder?
He's still looking for the mirror. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he's making a play here. Meanwhile, we now know a piece of heart is a Mimic Cave. Whilst we watch Swerb go back to try Trinex for the 4th time, we have not seen Ice Palace yet, so this is new information for us. So we will get to see what is inside here today. We still don't know what's in the back of Blind's hut. I wonder if DaringRetreat will realize that he forgot that at some point before he checks Pyramid Fairy, or whether he will actually do Pyramid Fairy first. We know that Pyramid Fairy has the mirror today.
All right, going back with the ice rod to start.
Round 4. Fight! First head is frozen very quickly, but he loses the shot after 1 hit. It gets away again. This fire head is giving Swerb some problems today. Down to 1 heart again, and I don't see this ending well. The center head's about to attack, I think, right now. Didn't even get to. Just another collision with the fire head, and we are down again. Will Swerb leave now to get some potion? He saved and quit. He is going to stock up, I think. I think this is a better play. After several attempts, you have to know when your opponent could possibly be coming up and doing that same fight and having a better shot at to get ahead of you. At this point, it's a good idea to stock up on the potions, save some time in the end by using that potion in the fight, and then if you have some left over, you have one for your game fight as well. Say goodbye to the bee. Swerb leaves the bee in the shop to keep the witch company.
Bye, bee. I love bee.
It was a good bee. So DaringRetreat is making his way through Ice Palace right now, thinking a little bit about what he wants to do. Gets the hammer out, decides to use the sword on the ice arrows instead, and uses another spin attack on those enemies. And normally a spike would come down, but there's a Hinox in here today.
That turned into a skeleton when he went into... that was weird.
That's kind of funny, actually. So he's going to hook shot over to that chest. 10 arrows. Of course, we know there's nothing that he's going to find useful in here. You could find the cane of burn, possibly, or a shovel.
Half magic.
Actually, no, you can't find the shovel.
Wait.
The shovel was found by Swerb.
Yeah.
Half magic's not in this.
You can get half magic, but it drains faster. Oh no, Wall Master! That's so rude!
That is awful. Oh my. And to answer a question in chat, is there only 3 bottles in hard? No, I believe all 4 bottles are still available. I think you can pick them all up. I don't think there's any limitation down to 3. I did see in the text that 4 are still available. If I am wrong on that, someone can correct me, and I will note that.
This was not a nice seed.
Not at all. They couldn't even do any boss fights for the first hour. Swerb didn't get his first crystal until around the first... Oh, that Keys just snipes him into the pit. But yeah, they couldn't... Wow! I can't even get my sentence out. Yeah, they couldn't do any boss fights for the first hour because we had the need to get the fire rod just for the first two bosses we found. The first two bosses were Colster. We had to get to where was the fire rod located? Was it the swamp? Was it
Misery Myers
Spell
back
Woods?
room.
Oh yeah, it was in Misery Mire. So we couldn't even take out the Colster because we had to make our way to Misery Mire first, and it took a while just to even start getting any of the crystals in the seed. So this has just been a cruel seed today. Okay, we're getting back to the Bob's chest room again. We are going to bomb this hole yet again after we take out a Helmasaur, mini Helmasaur. Why not? Just because we can. For the extra life, using the stun prize to get the heart out of it. And there's the bomb. There's the chest. There's another bomb to replace the one we just spent. Round 5. Good start getting the freeze, but the head recovers. Swerb has to get back into position. This time he starts getting some sword hits in, but the turtle pulls away. Has to use some more magic. Time to refill, I think. There's one of those potions. Oh, he doesn't have it activated. He has to want to get that last shot in with the ice rod before using the potion. So, potion has now been used. The firehead is now destroyed, but another bite comes out of Swerb from the center head. Swerb starts working on the ice head. Gets bit at again. Second head, I think, is down. We need to get that second potion out. Swerb is getting that second potion out. He uses it. And just in time, because we got another bite from the central head as the... Oh, he tries to get another one before going into his shell and coming out of his shell. Interesting.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. All right, well, back to pick up some more potions for Swerb.
Oh,
there.
my. I lost some
Daring-
internet for a moment there. I just caught up and I saw the 5th death there. That is horrible.
Yep, and DaringRetreat did find the big key in the freezer room here in Ice Palace. So still working their way through that. Still only buying 2 potions. I think he got 2 blues and a green, right?
I'm having difficulty with my stream right now, so I can't confirm that. But I would assume that he got all the potions he could at this time. He used every bottle now because that fight is definitely playing on him today.
Mind of Me, our tracker for this evening, saying that still looked like Swerb only purchased 2 blue potions, but I thought that I saw him purchase a green one, but I could be wrong. Like, not this time around, but the time before that, I thought he bought. Okay.
I wonder why he's keeping the bee, though. That's really interesting.
All right, DaringRetreat, hopping down here to the magic bat. Swerb has already checked this, and we do know that it's just a piece of heart. Daring Retreat still needs to check the Pyramid Fairy for their mirror.
DaringRetreat, meanwhile, did check the bat there to get his piece of heart from there a little earlier. Which actually, I think you said that. I was just having some difficulties there.
That's okay. So we're just a couple rooms away from trying again on the Ice Armos room with Trinex. And Daring Retreat making the play back into Village of Outcast. I am not sure if they're possibly thinking of clearing through. Oh, okay, they're gonna go check Pedestal.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, Pedestal could have had the mirror, so it's a good check since they're not sure, obviously, where the mirror's at right now. So Swerb dropping into the Trinex fight once more. Pedestal is just pocket change.
Wah wah.
Swerb taking things a little bit slower. Oh, down to 1 heart. But he has the fire head down. He's used 1 potion. I can't breathe. Used a 2nd potion. Last head is finally down, so just the main body. Oh, and he got bumped by the head there, and he's down again.
Oh, another death. I got my stream working again, thankfully. So I did see that. That's the 6th time we've had a death to Trinex on ice. If it wasn't for the fact that both runners were still in this seed, I could see Swerb wanting to give up at this point. DaringRetreat still doesn't even know what's happening down there, so he doesn't have any. He'll probably come with potions anyway, but that could very well be.
He has no idea what he's going to be in for.
He has no idea the kind of problems he's going to be dealing with in this Ganon's Tower. My goodness.
So Swerb did notice that he has 3 bottles. So he has actually filled all 3 bottles with blue potions this time. Daring Retreat taking a death warp. I suppose when you decide that you want to have a hard seed, unless you're playing expert or insane, definitely this is probably the hardest it could be.
And to think insane, you don't get any extra hearts. You just have the 3 hearts. You can't heal yourself. You have to do that all as you see it with 3 hearts and a simple sword.
Daring Retreat is doing Skull Woods. It is the green pendant. He does know that Pedestal is not where the mirror is, but he could still be thinking that it is with Sahashala behind the green pendant. And he got snagged by the Wallmaster
Got
again.
snagged. Oh. You hate to see it.
Wow.
Okay, Swerb is entering Gan's tower, going to get his free magic refill from the right side. We'll mirror back to the front of the tower, and we will get a 7th shot going left side to get that battle with our new lovely 3-headed dragon who has found a way to make himself all the more difficult.
I love the bunny sprite for the Ninja Turtle.
I didn't catch it. What is it?
It's Raphael in a brown trench coat. Alright, DaringRetreat about to drop down into Skull Woods. We have not seen what this boss is. Blind, yikes.
Blind, why not?
With the floor moving. Okay.
Yeah, some bosses the floor will not move. I'm not sure what the trigger for the floor moving is. I noticed that spike, that KSMR block actually went up with the floor as well. So they're going left now. So it is moving. You can actually use that to gauge what way the floor is moving in case you're having trouble distinguishing it, oddly enough. Not that most of our runners will do that, but you can do that.
Alright, switch into the cape, a really good strat. Especially with the moving floor, moving heads, fireballs, spiky walls, why not?
Yeah, this room is a nasty one to fight blind in. But he got it done, and he is just going to go to the center of the room now, and there's your map. Please enjoy. Okay, take 7 on Trinex on ice. After another battle against a mini Helmosaur to get a heart back with the Sun Prize. Actually had enough health, so didn't take that heart. So here we go. Actually, he still could have used that heart, but here we go again. Trinex on ice.
Somebody should show this to Disney and see if they can make another $1 billion.
Already having a bad start to the fight. I think he's trying to strategically avoid that central head. He's trying to gauge when it's going to attack him. That might work to his... Well, he got hit that time, but it might work to his play if he can figure out when that head's going to attack and move in time to avoid it. He dodged there. That's a good dodge. The firehead is out. We're going to have some ice breathed onto the ice floor. Very well done, right head.
And it looks like DaringRetreat may finally be on the right path to be picking up the big bomb here to grab his mirror.
Swerb got sandwiched in the side there. He has to use this health refill a little earlier than planned because he got pushed right into that wall. And there's another bite from the central head. And trying to get... Oh! That's 7 times. And
he did do a reset this time, so he will be back to, I think, 3 full potions as well as...
He will be. He's doing the soft reset, as you said, because that way he doesn't lose and have to farm for money again.
This makes me feel like crying for them.
Yeah, it's very nasty.
So Daring Retreat, having picked up the mirror, just needs to finish Vitreous at Tower of Hera, which I'm assuming he will save for last as he makes his way up to Ganon's Tower, as well as Swamp Palace and Cold Stair in Thieves' Town.
Comment being made, chat, this wouldn't be nearly so bad with more heart containers or red mail. Of course, we don't have red mail available in this seed. This is a hard difficulty seed. Red mail does not exist. Both mail upgrades are in the seed, but as soon as you get one of them, the other one turns into money. So you will not see red mail. But yeah, there are still 6 more hearts. He has 8 hearts, but there are 6 more hearts out there that he could pick up if he were able to find all of those. Of course, 1 or 2 of those could even be upstairs. Already have down to 2 hearts. This is not a good start. So he's going to have to find some health as he goes through. DaringRetreat did pick up his mirror, meanwhile, from Pyramid Fairy. I didn't even get a chance to see that. So he is now in go mode himself, and he does not know what awaits him in Ganon's Tower. Not a chance.
And Swerb, with his health as low as it got, decided to do a death warp to reset the potion decanter or the magic decanter in this room as well. We'll see here if this Hinox, works a lot better this time.
This is just getting to the point that it's painful right now. 230 rupees left. He's obviously going to, if he has to use his magic potion, he's just going to soft reset at this point. I think as long as he can get through Trinex, he might just do a save and quit just to get back to the front of Ganon's Tower and save that fight so that he doesn't have to do it again.
Daring Retreat coming up to the Argus room here in Swamp Palace. We'll be heading up against, I think, the blind fight number 2 for Daring Retreat.
Okay, come on, Swerb. You can do this. Round 8 against Trinex. He can't win them all. You can do this. Well, the bomb didn't open the floor that time. Just a little bit off center, unfortunately. So try number 2. Here we go again.
And Daring Retreat finishing up with Blind in Swamp Palace. Off to a good start.
Yeah, this is a decent start so far. He is sandwiched in the corner behind that head right now. That's a free shot for the central head to take a bite out of him once in a while. He got out of that corner. He might have to use another potion. There it is. Out of potion, out of health, I think. He has to survive this central head right now. Got away. Can he take it out right now?
Gets that first hit.
And now that snake is going to zoom in, or that, whatever you want to call him, turtle is going to zoom in on him. And there it is.
Yeah. This is definitely giving Daring Retreat the opportunity to catch up, but I think they'll both kind of get stonewalled here at this boss. It's so rough.
I would bet that if Swerb does eventually get through this boss before Daring Retreat gets here, I have a feeling it's going to get to the point that Daring Retreat sees this and says, no, thank you. We'll see what happens when we get to that point, obviously. Swerve makes his way up Death Mountain again. He has his medicine back. He has everything else he's had so far. Goes through that skeleton's head one more time and climbs up to work around a turtle rock and get around. Daring Retreat, meanwhile, does take out Cold Stare in the Thieves' Town area. This is now his 6th crystal. He has to go back to Tower of Hera, which is, as I think you know earlier, MS Metroid, going to be the last dungeon he has to do. So he can just warp straight over to Ganon's Tower when he's done.
Yep. Daring Retreat. Not quite enough rupees to buy another blue potion. So he's heading up to Ganon's Tower with 2 blue potions right now.
So here we are, once again, the right side play to get the magic jar from the right side. And I think this is, I've started to lose count. I think this is attempt number 9.
Oh, didn't even bother to try counting.
It's been a lot, that's to say the least. Swerve is definitely earning this today if he wants to get it. So, he gets candled by a big, oh man.
Accidentally bumping into those spikes there a couple times.
Daring Retreat on his way up through Paradox Cave right now. We do remember Vitreous was the boss at Tower of Hera. That's all that stands between him and his own shot at Ganon's Tower, and we're going to see what happens when he gets to Trinex on ice. There goes the fish.
Getting lucky with a couple of these small magic drops from some of the enemies here.
Okay, attempt. Oh, he got rid of the pot.
Oops. Yeah.
Well, bomb jump will fix that problem. Maybe.
These Tektites are a little scary to try to bomb jump around.
You have to line it up
And then he
properly.
gets
He's gonna leave and
bullied.
come back in. Oh, he can't leave and come back in. He has to go the other door. So he'll go the other. Nope, he's gonna try the bomb jump again. This is gonna cost him some much needed health for this fight. He could just go out the other door and come back in. I don't know why he's not doing that. Maybe because, probably just because he's so focused on being the size of Tyrannox, he's not realizing that the other door was open. DaringRetreat, meanwhile. Yep. I'm just going to comment on that. DaringRetreat is about to take out Vitreous. And a few arrows, Visine strats, and it's down. And DaringRetreat is about to warp through a portal to join Swerb in Ganon's tower, and I don't think he's going to like what he sees. As Swerb is on the fight once again, he gets to one head down. I don't think he's using his first potion. Going to work on the ice head now. Managed to dodge the central head this time. Good dodge. Dodge it again. Good dodge. He might have this. He's starting to get good at this, I believe. Second head is down. I think he still has a potion left, so he should use it after, well, very soon, I would say. There it is. And he just stands there and takes the hit because now he's refueling potions, so he doesn't mind. He got him!
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Trinex on ice goes down.
First try.
First try, yeah. First try. Clearly first try. And let's see, chest number 20 to 22. We still have the big key game. Chest number 20, and look at the skull, the husk of Trinex in the back. Number 22, right next to the cane of Berna. Brian, we're not going to ask you to pick up your cane today. You have to deal with the Trinex on ice to get it. So let's just get this Ganon out. Nothing is going to be harder than ice Trinex, needless to say, today. And we may have forgotten about the big key guessing game for some time. I don't know if he's still in chat, but if he is, congratulations to Daru. You are the winner of the big key game. You are the closest guess from a sub or a supporter with 14. Congratulations. You win a case of some, I don't know what you want at this point for this ridiculous seed. My brain's fried myself.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day,
sir. I said good day. So Swerb is starting the gauntlet climb, which I think he will take over Ice Trinex any day at this point. There we go. Switch is pushed. Door is open. Door was open. Door is open again.
So DaringRetreat went full right, but didn't end up going full right all the way to the Ice Armos fight. So he still doesn't know yet.
Yeah, he probably will not enjoy what he sees. There's a shovel for him now.
Some of these invisible enemies here in GT that you have to wait for them to spawn again before you can fight them can make this tower climb a little tedious.
And these enemies that come out of unseen holes, just like the ones you see in the holes in Ice Palace, those are kind of sneaky as well from time to time. and you have to kill those to open the room. So much different style of gauntlet than you were used to in the vanilla enemy setup. These enemies are completely random. You don't know what you're going to be finding on the way up here. Goma's in this room. Oh my. And there goes the Armos. And one room away.
And
We seem to have a still.
Pausing for a second.
We'll come back to that. We may have to switch to Daring Retreat's audio for a moment here as we wait for Swerb to come back. There it is. So we are following Daring Retreat's progress through Gan's Tower at this point. As Swerb, we pick up Swerb again. Are you kidding me? At least this one is not on ice. This is just a very ugly looking room right now that he's fighting in, but there's no ice. Yeah, this is somewhat manageable compared to what we just dealt with.
Obviously, Trinex's much easier when you're not on a big pool of frozen water.
Yeah, I would say the same. Takes out a comparatively easier Trinex fight. We get to see the husk of Cold Stare at the back of the room again. And we get to leave the husk of Cold Stare at the back of the room again.
That's the Trinex shell.
That's the ghost.
All right, Daring Retreat just about to fall down and find out the bad news.
Or is it good news for us? Daring Retreat, wish you luck. Come and meet your maker.
Well, he used a potion already.
And he's probably going to regret it now. Already a sword swing. He's not happy.
Well, using the sword to do that kind of propels you a little bit forward, so it's a
that makes sense.
Strategy as well as frustration, perhaps.
So this is something I would say neither runner was really versed with coming into this race, nor was expecting to find. And I have a feeling both runners will probably keep this seed in a saved state so they can practice this fight anytime they want to. I have a feeling that may be something we see from these runners. Looks like Daring Retreat might have...
Oh, he mirrored out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the stream just froze for us for a moment or whether it was my internet, but I was going to go with either possibility at this point.
And he barely has enough rupees for one potion currently, and I don't think he has any right now.
Yeah, this is going to be a very difficult situation for him. He already bought potions for the other fights earlier. He clearly did not realize that the hardest one was yet to come. And who can blame him? Who expects Trinex on ice? When 10 boss fights in the game, 10 bosses that can be there, Chaos boss shuffle, who expects Trinex to be down there? Can you just imagine if Trinex is in the final room, the Moldorm room?
I mean, that's what chat was asking for, but...
Of course that's what chat's going to ask for.
I would feel pretty bad.
Nope, just a bug.
Also not super great. But much better than a Trinex, and
yeah, much
very well
easier.
done by Swerb.
Much easier. And he takes the sticks from the bug in the final chest, and we are finally going to go through the final major room of this castle, and we are going to come up eventually. This is a little bit tricky. Come on, get up there. Up the stairs. There you go. And there's, by the way, that castle guard. That's an enemy that was removed from the game. that Castle Guard is an enemy that was programmed but never actually used. My guess is it would have been somewhere on the castle walls where you see bombs coming at the start of the game, but we'll never know because they never showed up. Oh, that triple from Swerb. That was a triple.
Yeah, very nice. Well,
very nice start to
done.
Gets a blue ball out of that. One more hit should end this fight. There it is. So at 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 25 seconds, the bat escapes. And Swerb is finally going to go to defeat Ganon as DaringRetreat, I guess, is down to 37 rupees. And I have a feeling it won't be long until we see both racers finish. One in a more fortuitous way than the other.
All right. Dropping down to the Ganon fight, starting out now. DaringRetreat heading into the tile room, hoping against hope that last chance. This is where the big key is.
Can we put this fight on ice, please?
Haha!
So Swerb is now going through the second phase of Ganon. Fire bats come out, and Swerb still has to deal with the second phase. Not done yet, so another cycle of bats is coming out. Using the hookshot strats, when the hookshot is out, you're invincible to anything touching you. A good way to dodge some of those fire bats and the circle. We are in phase 3. We're teleporting around at this point. The first row of tiles has been cleared. Second hit. DaringRetreat is going back towards Trinex. Willing to take on this challenge. So we'll see how he does on this go.
All right, and on to the fourth phase here for Swerb, going up against Ganon. 2 arrow shots, very well done, but misses the torch glitch.
And I think that's it.
Doesn't matter.
Everyone in chat, for the love of everything, get your GGs in there. Swerb put on a great show getting through that today. That was a horrible seed. So we're going to have an official SRL time for Swerb in just a moment, as he finishes in first place with an official SRL time that is scrolled off my screen. Give me a moment. An official SRL time of 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 2 seconds. DaringRetreat is still playing at this point. He has not forfeit. He is going to give this ice almost a go and try to finish the seed for us. Credit to him for doing that.
And Swerb currently is in chat. He'll be joining us shortly for the interview on Discord. But definitely want to just say GG's to him, everybody in chat.
Yeah, we want to focus on the Ice Arms fight and see if DaringRetreat can pull this off in quicker fashion, or whether this is going to be a fight that gives him just as many problems as it gave Swerb. We're going to find out right now as he takes his second shot at Trinex. And let's see what happens. He's missing the shots on the firehead. This is not going well already. He's already out of magic. He has to get a potion out if he wants to keep shooting magic, and he has to do that now. He has no choice. Doesn't have enough for one shot. Has one potion. Stares at it. Activates it. None left. Trinex takes a bite. Gets a shot, but Trinex gets another bite. He has more hearts than Swerb did. He has 10 hearts because he found some extra hearts with the Ice Palace dip, I believe. He mirrors out. Yeah. He mirrors out, and he is standing still. I think it is safe to say at this point he has forfeit from the race. I do not blame him. Get your GGs in chat, everyone. He put on a great effort trying to come back in this race, but Ice Trinex is Ice Trinex, and it said, no way, sir. Not today. And we're going to get them both in here right now. They're both in chat right now. Swerb, DaringRetreat, congratulations on, first of all, Swerb on winning today, and to DaringRetreat on a good effort. That was a tough seed today.
Yeah, what the heck, dude?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we were thinking here as well. That's we were counting 9 attempts on that Ice Trinex. Tell us about that Ice Trinex fight. Hello?
All right. Well, I wanted to pull up the IRC because I gave a lot of my feelings there. Yeah, it sucked. I've never had that fight before, I don't think. And if I had, it wasn't on like hard mode or anything like that. So 8 heart Ice Trinex is not something I've been prepared for. But as was discussed in chat a little bit earlier, I did pick the settings, so I guess it's on me. I actually really like that seed as a whole. Kind of like I said in IRC, like I got my first crystal like an hour in, which is typically like a bad sign, but like a lot of it was like setting up a lot of stuff and like doing a lot of legwork, getting all the items. And so like I don't know, I got the GT like what 140-ish, I think. Like I was on Ice Trinex for like 40 minutes or something ridiculous, and I was getting really tilted because I felt really good going into GT. Like I was like, oh, I'm felt really confident that I was in the lead, but I didn't assume that like I had enough time to screw around with Ice Trinex for that long.
I want to bring DaringRetreat into the conversation as well. How did you feel about that seed today? Not counting Ice Trinex for now, up until the Gans Tower point. How did you feel about that seed today?
I thought the seed was fine. It just my execution wasn't that great. And then seeing Ice Trinex, I was just like, nope.
Yeah, that's about how I would react to. I don't even like regular Trinex. To put it on ice, you win.
Yeah, and why? What the heck was with all the cold stairs?
It was a very chilly seed, is the best way.
Like the first boss room I walked into was obviously like Eastern Palace, which was Cold Stair, and then I think it was Thieves Sound, which was also Cold Stair. And I was like, okay, I guess Fire Rod or Bombos is gonna be the key to this whole seed.
Yeah, that was pretty much the key to. I think 3 of the fights were Cold Stair. Might have been 4, but I think it was 3. I know we saw Mothula. I know we saw Vitreous up in Tower of Hera. Can't remember offhand what the other ones were.
Moldorm.
But yeah, Moldorm. Oh yeah, Moldorm in. Yeah, I mentioned the bug. The 3-eyed Moldorm in the back of Turtle Rock. So yeah, that was a Cold Stair seed for sure. That was a case where fire was definitely needed today. So I want to ask if either of you realize a chest that you've forgotten. We were wondering about for about the first half hour of the race. You both went into Blind's hut. You blew up the wall in the back. You checked the 4 chests, and neither of you checked the back of Blind's hut.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We have no idea what was back there.
That's actually really funny.
That's actually not even the first time I've done that this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the first time I've done that in general, but that's usually doesn't happen. I don't know. The first like several minutes, I was kind of like spacing out, I guess, or something, and I was actually wondering that because like I remember blowing up the wall, and then like in Lost Woods, I was like already questioning. I was like, did I check the back of Blind's hut? And I was like, there's no way I didn't check that. I was like, I remember blowing it up. I just remember hearing like the sound, like the puzzle solving sound, and I was like, yeah, there's no way I didn't check that.
Ms. Metro, do you want to ask a question? Or DaringRetreat, you can get your opinion on that in as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't even think twice about it. If there was something there, that would have just been it.
Yeah, same. Like, if that was required, I would have gone back there, probably, ever.
Ms. Metro?
Daring, did you actually turn in the green pendant after you picked it up from Skullwoods?
I think so. I think it was like some rupees.
Okay, I wasn't sure that if I saw you turn that in. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it between the mirror location. Well, I should say both fairy locations with silver arrows and flute at Waterfall, and then tempered sword and mirror at Pyramid Fairy were both pretty exceptional finds. But definitely pretty odd to have quite a few dungeons with double dips and looking for that fire rod or bombos.
And it's I'm actually curious about both of you, your train of thought leading to that Pyramid Fairy. That was a very odd location to get mirrors so far into the Dark World. What was your train of thought regarding where the mirror might have been today?
I just completely forgot about Pyramid Fairy. I didn't realize I had the 256 crystals and
Fairy crystals there to get the big bomb. I like the bonus there was really finding the tempered sword with it, because that obviously is gonna make things a lot easier.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. Like in a seed like this where you have ice Trinex, for goodness sake, tempered sword, at least if you didn't have a tempered sword back then, we might have been here all night waiting for that thing to go down. That was nasty.
Oh, if I didn't have a tempered sword, I would have left and found it.
Yeah, no question.
Each head just takes way too many hits with the Master Sword, like on that ice room where it's really hard to even get. Because like, normally, like with the tempered sword, like in any other boss room, it's really easy to get like the 2 cycles per head. But on the ice, it's really hard because you like swinging your sword propels you. You're taking damage, and that's knocking you around. And so if you have the Master Sword for that, like, no way. I guess I could have tried the hammer or something. I don't know.
I think the hammer, if I'm not mistaken, is the same amount of damage, and it would have possibly given you a bit of a push when you hit something with the hammer. It propels you back, so that could get you away from the central head depending on the angle. I guess that would help in that kind of a circumstance, but otherwise, just getting an momentum on that ice is really, really challenging.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't really done that fight before. I don't think so. Like I was like trying to learn how to handle it there, and yeah, like I said, I'm like a little surprised that I spent like 40 minutes on it and I still managed to pull out the win. But that was a tough seed.
Yeah, that was probably one of the toughest, even just for Randomizer. Randomizer probably is some of the toughest seeds just because of the way that some of the things are laid out. You have to do some really challenging fights compared to regular, especially with the Chaos Boss Shuffle. You have to do some really challenging fights compared to the regular seeds. Whereas in regular seeds, you can plan for all the bosses to be, and you know their patterns and everything. In Randomizer, it's completely different. There's some of the layouts of the enemies you have no idea. You can't plan for it, and it's a surprise to any runner going through it. It's just a challenge having to go through some of those setups.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, and it's like something that's happened a few times here tonight for me too. It's just like you enter a certain room and you have like an idea of how to best approach that room, in like an NMG situation or like a non-Randomizer situation. And so like that muscle memory can kick in, and then you end up walking into like a Henox or something stupid.
Yeah, very, very big challenge, needless to say, with some of those rooms today. Well, and I don't think we've had a lot of comments from Daring here. Did you have any comment on that as well, Daring?
I haven't. I'm just trying to like catch my breath a bit.
Is this the first of 3 match between
It is.
you two?
It is.
Are you guys thinking that come match 3, Randomizer will be vetoed?
I'm not planning on it.
Yeah, me neither. I like Randomizer a
All
lot.
right.
And
We may see more.
I wouldn't let this sour my opinion of it. If anything, like I would veto hard over Randomizer because that was really
Good
the
choice.
thing. Like even that ice Trinex fight would be like a lot easier in normal, where you have like twice the health at that point and possibly gold sword.
I'm going to actually agree with you on that because the lack of health seemed to be what was really causing the problems. You didn't get your full health refill out of the potion. You only got a partial health refill. And so therefore it wasn't as effective and you had less health to start with. So that made it a lot harder. I think I agree with you that hard is really what made this tougher, not the Randomizer itself.
Yeah, I definitely think like that would have been much more manageable if you could get like a full refill.
Well, unless Miss Petra, do you have any further questions of these fine runners tonight?
No, just thank you very much for running. Good job again to both of you. Very well done. I would have quit a lot sooner than probably either of you. So thank you for the run, and I look forward to your next matches.
Yeah, and thank you both for commentating there. It's always appreciated. And thank you, Mind of Me, for tracking. He was a tracker, right?
He was.
Yes, she is.
She was.
She? Okay. Thank you so much. It's always appreciated getting this. Really, the stars of the tournament.
No, you guys are the stars in my opinion. We just come here and talk about it. You guys actually put on the show that we're talking about. So.
And it was a heart piece in the back of Blind's Hut, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for checking that for us. There you go, chat. Blind's Hut was not important. Back of Blind's Hut, not in place yet. We did that already, though. Let me cover a couple of items. Go ahead.
I was saying it gave me an extra heart, but I don't think it would have made a difference.
So, I just want to take a moment to cover a couple races going on and some races coming up tomorrow morning as well, just so we can give you something to look at tomorrow morning as well here. Taking a look at the schedule, I do see the first... Well, actually, first we have a race on right now, I think. On Speed Gaming 3, we do have an all-dungeon standard Uncle Assured hard mode seed there. No key sanding, no Randomizer, nothing strange going on there. Between Emo Star and Salty Fry, I think this is their second race. I saw them racing earlier today, so I think this is their second, maybe their third race. So that's on Speed Gaming 3 right now. It might be over, but there was another race between JP, also known as Brewers Fan JP, and Mentos Man 8 on the main channel. That may be done now, or it may be close to finishing, but feel free to check that as well. Tomorrow morning, I'll cover the first couple races. We have 2 races, 8:30 a.m., Speed Gaming 4 and Speed Gaming 5. We have Dustin and Korek, Iriwar and Liam Atlas. And at 11:20 on Speed Gaming 4, following the first race, we have VV versus In the Name of DT, one of our tournament admins for this fine tournament. And you can catch information on those races, what kind of seeds they are, everything else at speedgaming.org/ALTTPR. And you can see all the races coming up on the link to the past randomizer schedule. Without going into too much detail, some other races tomorrow. We have Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons at 9 o'clock. We have some Portal at 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. And there's a Cuphead race also at 10 o'clock. So we still have a lot of races going on tomorrow, both in this tournament and on the channel in general. You're not going to run out of things to watch here. Definitely take a chance to watch some of these races and support some of these runners here. So at that point, I think we should go ahead and wrap. Mr. Metroid, I'm going to give you the final word, but before that, I want to say to everyone, have a great night, and stay tuned for more Rando and more of everything. Mr. Metroid, take the finish.
Yeah, just one more time. Thank you again to Swerb and DaringRetreat. If you enjoyed your race watching this afternoon, everybody in chat, make sure to pop over to their channels, give them a follow. Look forward to the next 2 races for their the group stages here for these 2 together. And thank you very much, Cyclone, for joining me this evening, and Mind of Me again for tracking. And I hope you all have a great evening.
I forgot one more note as well. Follow the Speed Gaming channels 1 through 6. 1 does not have the number, and link to the past randomizer, as well as link to the past randomizer 2 through 5. ALTTP randomizer is the channel name. So yeah, sorry to take away the final word there after giving it to you, but I want to get that out. Have a great night, everyone.
Always have a good night, everybody.